everyone, and welcome to Learn TV channel, the show dedicated to learning and development. My name is Drena and I will be your host today. Thank you for joining in our newest broadcast as we are welcoming for the second time the expert trainer Mohammad Medawar. Welcome, Mohammad. It's a pleasure to have you again in our show.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine.
For those of you watching for the first time, Mohammad is a Microsoft certified trainer, expert training professional and consultant, and a speaker with more than 10 years of experience in the field of information technology. His expertise is in data analysis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, infographics. He has a broad international exposure spanning across diverse cultural groups within MENA and Asia. Today, Mohammad will give us some insights into the world of infographics, why they are useful, and how you can take advantage of this exciting medium. Mohammad, in the very beginning, we would like to understand what infographics are.
Okay, so I'm going to explain it in the easiest way possible. The word infographics is composed of two words, info, which is information, and graphics, which is the visualizations like photos, images, icons, and so on. So when we say infographics, it's simply visualizing or representing this information using visualizations like images and icons and so on. Why do we need to do that? Simply because for us as a human being, whenever we look at images and videos and icons, it's much easier for us to understand it rather than just look at numbers or text.
What are the different types of infographics?
Okay, we have a lot of types of infographics. I'm going to start with the easiest one and the very basic one. Now, if you go to any shopping mall and if you go to any fitting room, instead of writing male and female, they put the icon of the male and the female. So this is one way of infographics. So when we use this option or this example in infographics, the more the color is filled, for example, in a male, it means the higher the percentage. This is the first type. The second type is the type of infographic, which is a map. So whenever I need to represent my data on a map, instead of displaying a table and only writing, for example, the name of the cities and the numbers, it's better for me to put a certain map and put an icon on it where the values are available. This is the second type. The third type we have is a timeline. Whenever I'm representing my data and we have a certain time factor, instead of just writing them as a paragraph, it's better if we draw a timeline and then start plotting them one by one. We also have one more type. Of course, we have many, but I'm going to mention the last one. We have a circle. And this circle, the more the circle is filled, it means the higher the value. And by the way, we see this example a lot in internet service providers. Like, for example, if we talk in UAE, one of the internet service providers, to show you how many megabytes remaining or how many minutes remaining in your package, they draw a circle. And the more it is filled, it means the more minutes you have. Whenever you start reducing or whenever you start using your minutes, this fill will start reducing.
What is the difference between data visualization, information design, visual content, and infographics?
To be very honest with you and not to go into a lot of details, they are somehow all the same. So we try to make it as simple as that for all the attendees whenever they are attending a training course or for the people who are not really knowledgeable about infographics. And we simplify it for them and we say that they are all the same.
Training Magazine published an article a few days ago saying that, among other things, infographics are a key element in today's hybrid working and learning environment. Could you tell us briefly about the benefits of infographics during live virtual training sessions and their importance in upskilling the workforce?
Yes, of course, they are really important. And the biggest proof is the following. When you are delivering a live virtual training, which is an online one, delivering a live virtual training by itself is a challenge for us as a trainer or as trainers. So whenever we deliver this kind of training course, we need to make sure that all the trainees are always engaged and they are always participating. And I have a question for you. Whenever you are scrolling through social media, whenever you see a post containing a lot of text, rarely we read it. We directly skip. But when we see, for example, a picture or a video, we directly get attracted to it. So that's why whenever we deliver live virtual training, we make sure to use as much as possible such kind of icons and images in order to grab the attention of the attendees.
How do you use them during the training you deliver?
Definitely, I use them a lot, and I have a lot of websites where they are available for free. I just download them, I change their color, I change the text inside them, and I use them in my presentation. And last time I was delivering a training course on artificial intelligence with L3RN. I use an example of a sandwich and what are the contents of a sandwich in order to make the best one. So instead of writing a text, I decided to download from the internet icons of multiple sandwiches, multiple stuffs inside the sandwich, and in order to make the best package.
Is the old saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, valid for infographics? Are they actually hard to create? And what are the most important things to consider when trying to create one?
I definitely agree with this saying. And no, actually, they are not hard at all to create. Unfortunately, many people, they think that we need to have a lot of graphic design skills to create infographics, which is not the case at all. Let me give you an example. You can create very professional infographics using PowerPoint only. And trust me, every time I deliver this training course and I tell my attendees that I do them on PowerPoint, for the first moment, they get stunned. Like they tell me, this is the same program that we use for presentations. How can we use it to create infographics? Yes, on PowerPoint, we can use infographics. We can download icons from a website called flaticon, for example.com. We can add them to PowerPoint and we can animate them. Also, apart from that, in PowerPoint itself, you can insert shapes, which are the circles, the rectangles, and you can start mixing them together and animate them in order to get infographics. Another example or another website that I really love to use, which is called canva.com. Canva.com is definitely the best website when it comes to graphic design, and inside it, you can create very professional infographics and animate them. And the most important thing to consider whenever we create an infographic is the consistency. That's number one. And number two, we need to put ourselves in the place of the person who is viewing this infographic. So after we finish it and after we look at it, we need to ask ourselves, is it really clear for someone who is not knowledgeable at all about this topic? If he looks at it, will he be able to understand what is written inside it and what do we mean by it? That's it.
Could you tell us about how organizations can use infographics to better engage their audience?
Yeah, definitely. Just like we mentioned before, in social media, whenever we are scrolling, whenever we see a text, rarely we stick to it and rarely we look at it in a good way. So that's why I always advise all the organizations, and this is why this is our job whenever we deliver a training course, to convince them that infographic is the best thing to do. Whenever you are creating presentations, use infographics. Whenever you are creating your final year report, use infographics. Even if you are sending just a simple email, use infographics, and definitely it will be very beneficial for you.
What about corporate communication? Where do they fit in there? And what are the benefits of using them for in-house communication?
Okay, again, let me give you a very simple example. Whenever you send an email, in the signature, instead of writing, for example, WhatsApp or writing Instagram or writing your social media accounts, it's always better to put the icons of Instagram, WhatsApp, and the other social media. The same thing applies for emails, for a website, for a telephone. So instead of writing these things, it's always better to put the icon for it. Because even if you don't know how to read it, once you look at it, you can directly understand that this is the logo of Snapchat, for example, or this is the phone number.
Would you say that infographics should become part of the company culture?
Definitely. Why not? Because this is an advantage. This is an added value for us. So whenever we are having infographics, it means we are able to visualize our data in a better way. Then why not use it?
Mohammad, shukran. It was a pleasure to have you today. This was quite an informative interview.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine, and it was my honor to be as your guest. And hopefully, I look forward to be in your next episode, inshallah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today and staying until the end. We hope we have managed to answer questions you had on this topic. And if there are still some things that you want to hear from our experts, do let us know, and we will try to cover them on our next episodes. Feel free to check out a recording of today's episode on our Vimeo and YouTube channels, along with all of our episodes so far. Until next time, stay tuned.